Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7, back again, out and about, hard at graft as ever, with another view from the van. Hope everybody's okay. A large part of you, a large majority of you will of course watch the match last night. We had a bit of Christmas party and coupled it up also with the game being on the TV. And yeah, it's disappointment yet again. It's another tournament where, you know, we failed to deliver. We have failed to deliver yet again, and I've heard a lot about this on social media this morning about Gareth Southgate, the likes of Ollie Holt, yes, perennial piece of shit, perennial gobshite, talking about, oh, we should be snapping his hand off to keep him in the job, blah, blah, blah. This is the same mentality which saw Steve Bruce remain in meaningful employment for decade after decade after decade. Oh, he's a nice man, he's a family man, he's got, children, he's lovely, he does this, that and the other. He may do loads of charity work, he may be a great hugger, I don't fucking know, but one thing I do know is that when it comes to the crunch times in tournaments, Captain Cautious Southgate is of little to no use when it comes to it. There's no plan B, there's no alternative. Last night crying out for substitutions, and the substitutions he did make were delayed and the wrong substitutions for me. You're going at it, you want a goal, and you leave Callum Wilson on the bench, you leave Maddison without any contributions during the tournament, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And you know, a brave manager changes the formation, chucks an extra person on up top, doesn't just accept it, doesn't just play this constant cautious brand of safe sex football. You know, sometimes you've just got to fucking go for it. And to me, Gareth Southgate the manager is like Gareth Southgate the player. He's a steady Eddie, he's okay, but if you are to take that next step up and to win something, then you need somebody else. You need somebody with that winning mentality who's got a proven track record in winning stuff. And it's okay beating your Irans of the world and Wales of the world and drawing against the USA, but when you come up against the first decent opposition, it's time after time after time again. We just falter. As a national side, we just falter. You know, Senegal were okay, but weren't the world's best team, and again you get past them and you think, yeah, the French, you know, you're looking back, they'd lost one of the games in the group, you know, stages. But I don't know, people are saying, oh well, he's the best manager since 66, and he's got to a quarter and a semi and a final. Yeah, we are going backwards. And what has he actually fucking won during that time? You know, the football over this calendar year has been absolutely atrocious in the large part. He sticks with the players who he likes, and but the media dress it up as like, oh, it's the players he trusts. No, I'm sure last night, and I don't blame Kane on us going out. I do not blame Kane at all, but he would start and play even if he was hobbling around and hopping on one leg. There's loyalty. There's, you know, loyalty to be commended, and then there's just stupidity. You know, he will only ever play the one, and there's all this debate about, oh, should Tony have gone, should Wilson have gone, you know, so on and so forth, different striking options. What was the point? Because it was always going to be one man and one man only. It will always be one man and one man only up front, and it's the same at the back. It's always going to be the same usual suspects, the blokes, the lads that Gareth Southgate likes, and it doesn't matter how well you play for your club side. All this palaver of, I'll pick on form, I'll pick on how they're playing. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit, because some of the players who have played during the World Cup have played horrendously for the club sides, you know, prior to that, and yet still they are absolute nailed-on certainties when it comes to the national side. So it is no surprise that when it comes to the crunch time, that they just don't cut the mustard. And I just think it's all right in being a nice guy. I'm not saying that he's not a nice guy, but what I am saying is, managing Middlesbrough, managing the under-21s, wearing a snazzy waistcoat and having a bit of a disturbing sort of geography teacher's beard does not give you the credentials and warrant you to be the England manager. It should be, for somebody who's coming towards the end of their career, and a reward for doing well in club football, in European football, and that sort of thing. And I certainly don't want the FA sniffing around Newcastle and Eddie Howe. No way at all, and I don't think he would, to be fair. I do think a change should be made. I do think it is warranted. Yeah, you can't go around scraping across the fucking floor with your underbelly and then just accept that to be okay. You can't just say, well, we've got the Euros in 2024, because the Euros in 2024 will come round, and of course we'll qualify, and we'll do so at an absolute canter, because the opposition that you play generally isn't the greatest, but you know, they want the bigger countries to qualify, so we'll qualify, no doubt about it, and then we'll get drawn in a group, and we'll get through the group, and we'll do okay, and we'll play this cautious brand of safe, boring football. And then again, we'll come up against another sort of major player in European football, and we'll get dumped out, because that is just what we do time and time and time again. And I still believe with a good manager, with a winning manager, with a manager with the mentality to, you know, be brave and have a plan B and change things and go for things. I think over the last 3 tournaments, we would have won at least one with somebody who had that cutthroat mentality. Somebody to say, look, you may have done well for me in the past, but you're not playing for your club side at the moment, you're not performing at your club side at the moment, so I'm not going to take you. I'm going to let this other lad who has played well and has done well, I want to give him an opportunity, and it's up to you to try and force your way back in. I honestly think if we had somebody cutthroat and a winner with a winner's mentality who's used to winning stuff, then the nation would have tasted glory in one of these recent tournaments. But as it turns out, no, we have a nice guy. He's nice, he's lovely, he's warm. So my fluffy fucking socks away on a night. It's that bastard cold at the moment. But I wouldn't recommend them for the England job either. So I think the FA need to look at it. I think they really need to look at it and make the correct decision. Do I think they will? Of course not. No, because he's a yes man. He doesn't rock the boat. He's not making, to be fair, he's not making dodgy deals in bars and, you know, far-flung areas of the globe, Sam Allardyce and the likes. But we just got to get over that mentality. It doesn't matter where this manager comes from. For me, you can come from Mars, you can come from anywhere. If you've got the credentials to be a winner, you've got a proven track record, you play good, decent football, with the pool of players that England have available to them, it's criminal that they are not winning stuff. You know, somebody who's inclined to put the likes of Foden in without a national outcry. You know, these generational talents, finding a way of embedding them all into the system to get the best out. So you've got your Bellinghams, you've got your Fodens in. You know, you'll take a risk on an Ivan Toney, and I know there's other issues in the background with the likes of Ivan Toney, but you know, looking at the younger talent and meshing it in and not leaving them on the bench where people are going, why the fuck, you know? That's how it needs to be. That is how it needs to be, in my opinion, if we are to go on and win jack shit. So let me know what you think down below. You might be in the Gareth Southgate is nice mode, and maybe it's because I've been tarnished by the Steve Bruce era at Newcastle, where he's such a nice man. He's such a lovely man. He's the fucking equivalent of a Werber's Bastard original, and it's not for me. It is not for me. And you've only got to look at the likes of Brazil. Tite the tit for leaving Bruno on the bench, may I add. But, you know, they get to a quarter-final, narrowly, you know, defeated, and he's gone. He's gone. That's it. Because all they are obsessed with is winning, say, the World Cup in this tournament. They are obsessed with winning that, and nothing else will do. Nothing else will be good enough. And with the pool of players that they've got, who can blame them? And again, looking at the English pool of players, I honestly think that there's no reason why we couldn't and shouldn't have gone to this tournament and won it. And you know, with some of the surprises and stuff like that here and there, the doorway seemed to be opening up. And now you've got a situation where you've got some really unfancy teams in the semi-finals, and it's a massive missed opportunity. The French are good, but they're not all of that. They do have the vulnerabilities, and yes, I thought last night I think England were a bit dog shit for the first 20 minutes. But after that, I thought, you know, they did decent, they did okay, without ever really overly testing the keeper. And that's, again, one of the probably criminal elements. And you're looking at the fact that we've got the ball, we're in that position, but we're not testing the keeper enough. And like I said, I don't blame Harry Kane. You take a penalty, it's a bit of a lottery. Yes, he blasted it high, wide, and handsome, and it's probably just flown over in front of the van right now. You can't blame him. It's a penalty kick. It's one of them things. It's, you know, but at the same time, I can blame not changing formation. I can blame not bringing Callum Wilson on when we're desperate. I can blame waiting until the last 30 seconds to bring a Grealish or somebody else on like that. If you're going to make changes, be bold to make changes earlier, and you know, give those changes time to be able to affect the outcome of the game. Don't leave it till the arse end. Don't make the same substitutions that haven't worked before. Don't make them again, because they haven't worked before. The definition of insanity is to try the same thing time and time again and then expect a different outcome. And that is what Gareth Southgate, to be honest, does repeatedly. And no doubt if he stays on as England manager and we qualify, which we will do for Euro 24, he'll make the same decisions and stick by the same type of players regardless. So let me know, nice man or an actual winner, somebody who's used to winning, knows how to win and is capable of bringing a trophy home. Let me know down below. And that moves us on to Newcastle. We obviously flew back from Saudi Arabia yesterday, back to the UK. They won't be wearing the t-shirts that they were photoed and pictured outside of the plane on when they get back to Newcastle. That was for certain. Oh my word, they'll notice the temperature difference. But hopefully our training facilities are nearing the edge of their slight little upgrade that they've had over recent months. We'll get the lads back. We've got the friendly, of course, against Rio, haven't we, at St James's, and then we jump straight into the Eddie Howe derby in the Cup. That game is massive, and now the attention of all the Geordie Nation, it's 100% back on Newcastle, and I'm over the moon, to be honest. I'm absolutely over the moon with some of the football that we're playing and we were playing beforehand, and the successful football that we were playing beforehand. It's great to get back. I honestly think that Newcastle would give England a very good run for the money these days. In previous years gone by, no way, no chance at all. No chance at all. Imagine Bruce against Southgate. Fuck me. Oh God. But yeah, I think Newcastle would give England a game, to be honest. But look, the Eddie Howe derby's coming up. That's a massive game. Sellout crowd, of course. Every game these days is a sellout. We'll have a preview ready for that game. We're going to be trying something a little bit different with the previews and that sort of thing, but I'll explain that on a separate video later down the line. But yeah, massive game coming up. So a run out. I don't expect to see any of the World Cup lads for this friendly, but then I'm fingers crossed about the Bournemouth game. Eddie's spoken about how he doesn't think that the World Cup lads would be involved in that game. But surely with the lack of game time for Bruno and the lack of game time for some of the England players, and even Fabian Schär didn't play too much, surely there's got to be every chance of one or two of them being available, or certainly at least on the bench as an option there to be able to bring on, because it's a massive game. It's a massive game. I'm desperate for Newcastle to do well in the Cups. I'm desperate for us to win something. That's what it's about. You know, I've had many years of some really nice managers, some great managers in Newcastle, but I want to see us win something. I'm desperate to see us win something. I've waited a long fucking time to be able to see us win something. It was nice even to see, I know it was a bit into Toto Cup, but even the Cup presentation after the match against Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, just to see you know, us up on the stage and getting a trophy and stuff. It's nice, but boy would I love to see that League Cup, the League Cup return, come to St James's Park, and Newcastle to win something. So massive game coming up, all the usuals, back to normal now on the channel. The focus 1000% on black and white, and let's see what happens with Southgate over the coming weeks and stuff like that. If he was to lose the England job, and you know, would he get another job in the top flight? That's another one to maybe consider and stuff as well. If Southgate was to get sacked, who would be lining up to give him another job? Would a Chelsea come calling if they were, you know, to get rid of Potter if bad results continue for them? would he get that sort of job? I've heard people joke about, or would he be back in the fucking National League or something like that? Let me know down below. If Southgate was to leave, where do you think, what sort of club would he end up turning up at? Because I certainly wouldn't want him at Newcastle. Nice bloke, great in pizza adverts. For some of you of a certain generation, you'll get that one, Pizza Hut. Yeah, great bloke, but I just don't want him. I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want to lose Eddie Howe to England and to get Gareth Southgate as Newcastle manager. So no way at all would I ever want that. So yeah, let me know where you think Southgate, what sort of club could he end up at if he was to leave England. And after this amount of time, will Southgate just think, I've had my fill, I've had chances, I haven't delivered the goods, it's time to give it to somebody else? Could that be an option as well? Let me know down below. So yeah, also looking forward massively to Newcastle being back in action, and I just hope we can pick up where we left off and continue the results, continue the performances, continue the good football. A tricky festive run of fixtures coming up, but ones that again we're more than capable of going to these places and getting results. And it's great also to see us starting to be linked with players as the reshape and the remodelling continues, not only at the training pitch but of course on the playing side as well. Pulisic again mentioned in today's Sunday Mirror, strong link to Newcastle in a cash deal as opposed to what some of others are offering for loan deals allegedly. So that'd be a cracking move, I think, for Newcastle. So let me know all of that down below in the comments, and in the meantime, take care, keep warm, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.